Okay, Chair Kammerer, would you like me to get started with the announcement, or?
Yeah, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order and
take-
do the roll call and go from there.
Okay. Member Jacobs? Member Kearney?
Yes.
Member Lockwood?
Yes.
Member Wilhelm?
Yes.
And Member Kammerer?
Yes.
And you have a quorum.
All sounds good.
In compliance with directives of the County, State, and Center for Disease Control and Prevention, this meeting is live streamed and closed to the public. Meeting procedures are subject to change pursuant to guidelines related to social distancing and minimizing person-to-person comment. To make a verbal comment during the meeting, dial 916-875-2500 and follow the prompts to be placed in queue for a specific agenda item or off-agenda matter. When the chair opens public comment for a specific agenda item or off-agenda matter, callers will be transferred from the queue into the meeting to make a verbal comment. Each agenda item queue will remain open until the public comment period is closed for that specific item. Written comments are always accepted. Please feel free to send an email comment to boardclerk@saccounty.net. Written comments are distributed to members, filed in the record, but will not be read aloud. And I turn the meeting over to you, Chair Kammerer.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm not aware of any introductions. Who do we have there as far as presenters and from the county?
Yeah, good evening, council members. This is Joelle Inman. I'm a senior planner, and we have Emma Patton as well, the project manager for the project you'll be hearing tonight.
Okay. I'm not aware of any CPAC announcements. Nothing that came down in the packet. So with that, barring any other issues, why don't we go ahead and get into the one item that's on the agenda there with Gilmore Heating and Air.
Sounds good, sir. Item number 1 is Gilmore Heating, Air, and Solar Use Permit, located at 8636 Antelope North Road in the Antelope community.
All right, good evening, CPAC members. My name is Emma Patton, and this evening I'll be presenting the Gilmore Heating, Air, and Solar Use Permit for your consideration. This project is located east of Antelope North Road in the Antelope community, and the project site is zoned for heavy industrial uses and is developed with a number of industrial uses and buildings, including a concrete business and an auto repair business. This evening we will be discussing one of the buildings on the site, which is a 21,000 square foot building located near the southeast portion of the site. Next slide, please. So the shell building, as you can see here on the site plan, was approved through a non-discretionary design review in 2018. And what that means is that the original shell building was allowed by right, and so no entitlements were required to allow the proposed shell building that was anticipated to be used as a warehouse. No entitlements were required to allow that use to be constructed. And so today there's this existing 21,000 square foot building here on the southeast portion of the site. Since then, the tenant Gilmore Heating, Air, and Solar is proposing an office space within the building. Office spaces are allowed in the industrial buildings so long as the office space does not exceed 25% of the floor area. In this case, the tenant is proposing approximately 30% of the building be used for office space, which requires a conditional use permit and a design review. The final hearing authority is the zoning administrator, so this evening you'll be directing your recommendations to them. There are some minor site modifications proposed with the tenant improvements, including additional parking to accommodate the office employees. This area is proposed along sort of the western edge of the property, as demonstrated on this exhibit here. Or I should say western edge of this particular building area, because the property itself is much greater than what you see here on the site plan. Next slide, please. Tenant improvements for the interior building, including the office, are as shown on this slide. Next slide, please. And with the interior tenant improvements, there are also some minor modifications to the exterior of the building, including closing up some of the existing roll-up doors on the industrial building and also punching in some windows to accommodate the proposed offices. So that concludes my presentation of the proposed project. I am available for any questions you may have about the entitlements or the proposed modifications to the site. And the applicant team should also be available should you have any questions that would be better directed to them.
Well, that was very succinct. With that, do we have any comments from the CPAC members? Questions, concerns? I'm hearing nothing. Member Lockwood, Member Kearney, Member Wilhelm, no questions?
No questions.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, you touched on parking with bringing folks. How many people are going to be occupying the office? Large amount? What do we estimate?
I'm going to ask that Heather and perhaps the owner of the property might be able to chime in on the actual use of the building.
This is Heather Larson. Hi, Gino. Do you want to take this one or do you want me to?
You can go ahead, Heather.
We've accounted for 39 employees in the building, and the parking is on site. The use is office, which supports the crew that is out in the field, and the warehouse is used for equipment and supplies for installations. Do you want to add anything to that, Gino?
That's exactly what we'll be doing with it.
Okay. So with the 39 additional people, you don't envision a traffic issue or any major changes to the area because of the additional activity?
No, this building's kind of tucked in the back corner. And 39 employees, and that will be the maximum over time. We want the large space, want to make it a nice, roomy place for people to come to, especially with COVID. future instances of that, we'd like to be able to space people out.
Okay. They're from the county. Do we have any concerns, comments that you want to ask?
Can you clarify your question?
Any questions from the county staff members?
No questions on our part.
Okay. And we have no public, so as far as opening this up for public comment, do we have anybody that we should be expecting any more input from?
Lydia from the Clerk of the Board's office. And I just wanted to confirm that indeed there are no public comments currently, for the record.
Okay, thank you. With that, I don't see any concerns with the fact of the request and going to 30% of the gross floor space. Is this a issue where we need to have a motion to recommend that this just be forwarded on with our recommendations for approval?
Yes, this is Lydia with the Clerk of the Board's office, and we will need a motion.
Okay, consider that motion made. I recommend that we approve this to the next level there at the zoning administrator. And if one of my fellow members will come in and second that, that'd be great.
This is Member Kearney. I'll second.
Excellent. Let's bring it up for a vote. Myself, I say aye.
This is Member Kearney. Aye.
And again, I apologize. This is Lydia with the Clerk of the Board's office. The second was, I didn't catch the name of the second on the vote.
Member Kearney. It was Member Kearney.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Which member made the second?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, this was Member Kearney that made the second.
Okay, Member Kearney, thank you so much. Member Jacobs? Member Kearney?
Aye.
Member Lockwood?
Aye.
Member Wilhelm?
Aye.
And Chair Kammerer?
Aye.
And the motion passes.
Excellent. So this being said and done, I guess we move on to the next item on the agenda.
Yes, the next item on the agenda is the annual election of officers.
Okay, with that said, the only officer that we have these days is chairperson and vice chairperson. Do we have of our members who are in attendance anybody who'd like to be considered? No response. Okay, myself, I've been the chairperson for a while. We haven't had very many meetings. Oh my goodness, we haven't had very many meetings. And with these video meetings, it definitely makes things a bit different. But I would have no issue whatsoever continuing in my capacity as chairperson. And seeing as we have nobody else who has said that they want to be considered for a position, I was thinking Brian, who is currently our vice chairman, we could just leave him in that position. Any
This
comments
is
from?
Lou, for the board's office. And I apologize for the interruption, but Member Richter resigned effective January 4th. And I also just wanted to make you aware that the public is able to make comments during this time frame.
Okay, do we have any public out there making comments?
Not currently, sir.
Okay, so we don't have Richter anymore.
That's correct.
Okay, with that said, Member Lockwood, Member Kearney, or Member Wilhelm, any of the three of you wish to take the vice chair position?
This is Member Lockwood. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. I would not like to be considered at this time. I'm very new to this this membership, and so I wanted not put myself forward at this time for this position.
Okay. How about Member Kearney or Member Wilhelm?
This is Member Kearney. I will go ahead and yield my time, at least for now, to Member Wilhelm to make her decision.
That was nice of you, Member Kearney. I feel like I'm still very new at this also. I've only been to, this might be my third meeting, so I'm not sure exactly what it entails. I just don't feel like I know enough yet.
This is Member Kearney. I guess in which case I'm happy to take the responsibility.
Thank you very much.
Okay, this is with the clerk of the board's office. I apologize for the interruption, but we will need motions in terms of the election of chair and vice chair.
This is Member Wilhelm. I move for Chairperson Kammerer to stay as chairperson and for Member Kearney to become vice chair. Can I do that both in one motion, or does it need to be two separate motions?
Yes, one motion is fine.
So that was
This is Member
Kammerer
Lockwood.
and Kearney. Is that correct?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I didn't catch that.
Okay, so Member Wilhelm made a motion for Member Kammerer as chair to remain chair and Member Kearney as vice chair. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, do we have a second on that motion?
This is Member Lockwood. I second.
Okay, and shall we take a vote?
Yes.
Member Jacobs? Member Kearney?
Aye.
Member Lockwood?
Aye.
Member Wilhelm?
Aye.
and Chair Kammerer.
Aye.
And the motion passes.
Okay, next item that I see on the agenda is staff updates. Is there anything there?
Yeah, good evening. This is Joelle again. There is no staff update tonight.
Okay. Next is to open it up for council member comments. I have nothing to add to this other than I'll be thrilled when we're actually able to have face-to-face meetings. Any comments from my fellow council members?
This is Member Kearney. Only that I too look extremely forward to face-to-face meetings once again.
Someday soon, I hope.
I agree. This is Member Wilhelm. I agree. It will be nice to get back to normal at some point.
And this
Last
is Member
item.
Lockwood. I agree. I'd like to meet you all in person.
The day is coming soon, I hope.
And in terms of the last item, public comments, there are no public comments at this time.
Okay. So with that, the last step is adjournment. I make a motion that we adjourn and then see what comes up next time.
Okay, thank you.
Does that need to be seconded and voted